They really just do not make happy holiday hats at the dollar store for extremely tall, fat people. Like, fucking look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Does that clearly look like it fits on my head? Huh. We did it. We have a string. Ow, that hurts. Welcome to Science, everybody. We're continuing on with our 2018 best ofs, and there's been nothing good about 2018. Well, let's dig on into the top 5 archetypes of the year. Oh boy. 2018 was a roller coaster of a year for competitive players, and there were 5 archetypes that stuck out to me as the best for the year. Shout out to Crusadia and Mech Knights. You guys didn't make the list. You tried. Good job. Numero uno on this list is Praying Kids. Coming out of fucking left field, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody thought that this deck was going to be shit. We come through a YCS just not even a month ago, and everybody lost their shit as this deck was determined to have one of the best matchups of all time against the meta. Huh, wonder why that is. Do you guys know? I'm not exactly quite sure, but you can bet your ass, because Praying Kids got the chance to display their antics. Terrible puns, I know. Being a deck that can combily break down, can reassemble itself, nobody expected it to have a good Sky Striker matchup. I mean, its Thunder Dragon matchup is kind of shit, and I haven't heard necessarily the best opinion about the deck's Ultra matchup. I'm pretty sure Ultra matchup is shit. But I mean, hey, you go through an entire day playing your best matchup, you should win, right? Like, hypothetically, that's how this should work. So, I gotta give it up to Praying Kids. It's probably the 5th most surprising archetype of the year. I mean, like I said, like, there are things like Magical Musketeers, Crusadia, things like that didn't quite make the top 5 of my list. But you know what, Praying Kids, you guys deserve this spot, because not only did you definitely show the metagame that you can do things, everyone that bought into the deck, the casual intermediate players, got rewarded. And it's never a bad thing to see people investing in something that they genuinely like, not getting rewarded for it. So, good job, Praying Kids. I gotta give it up to you guys. You've definitely, you deserve it. Now, this is where things start to get spicy. Number fucking 2 on my list. Gotta give it up to my boy Thunder Dragons. This deck was the reason why we love Gold Sarcophagus now. Alright, so Thunder Dragons coming in at number 3 might be a little bit spicy to some of you. Some of you might be like, oh, why is it so low on the list? Well, when you think about what else came out this year, yeah, you're definitely going to be curious about things. But anyway, Thunder Dragons, Colossus. Did anybody think an archetype that would make a lot of fusion monsters in the year 2018 would be good? Because I didn't actually think so. But then, you know, when I first kind of started reading these cards, I think my initial response was like, oh, they don't seem that good. And then we kind of started seeing the deck kind of take off a little bit. We found out that Neo-CG Ultrageist kind of had a decent matchup against the deck. And then, well, one thing led to another. And if a deck evidently has a bad Ultrageist matchup, it seems to be the trend of the year. Like, we're just like, fuck it, man. Like, we're not feeling it. But they definitely proved to us that Titan and things like that were powerful enough to beat the hordes of Sky Striker, and that's a very good thing. And I mean, like, when you've already got an engine built into an engine of a deck, you know, the Thunder Dragon engine, plus giving all of the new cards effects, and while still having synergy with the older stuff, like, we did it. Like, it's everything that we like to see in a deck. Plus, the deck was highly consistent. Plus, the deck got to abuse Gold Sarcophagus. Yeah, there's a lot of win-wins here, if you guys haven't realized this yet. Like, but I gotta give it up for the deck, though, because the deck had a lot of really cool combos. The deck has a very decent ceiling. And I mean, when a deck can come out of left field and take advantage of the new prize card that nobody thought anybody was going to be playing, definitely brought a smile to my face, as well as a lot of the competitive scene. Innovation. Take it for what it's worth, but I gotta give it up to Thunder Dragons at that fresh number 4 spot for probably being the most interesting thing of the year. Yes, I do know somebody's going to complain about some other card choices on here, but we'll get there. Next up on number 3 is our homie Sky Striker, and that's the part where I have to leave. All right, let's see, guys. So, yeah, Nice metagame report. So for those of you that are genuinely curious, like, why Sky Striker is so low on the list here, in theory, Sky Striker as a stun deck and as a grind deck was very good for its time. And it's definitely proven that we could versatilely take advantage of situations. Also, when you make an entire deck based on a Link 1 concept, you know, like being able to go do 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 do. It's like we experimented with Zodiac for this archetype, and we just decided to make it better. I'm actually kind of curious I still think that Zoo was the prototype for Link summoning for Link 1s, but what the fuck do I know? But for all intents and purposes, at this current point in time, I gotta give it up to Sky Striker because the deck's the toolbox that the deck has proven that it's resilient. A toolbox is always very good. And when you introduce Link 1s into an archetype, something good is bound to happen. But they did limit the deck's core monster lineup. They never really gave them another main deck monster, which, I guess to be fair, when you limit the initial card pool and things like that, like, that's your balancing aspect of it. But Sky Striker definitely almost should be archetype of the year, you would think, for just how much they have, but there's some other archetypes this year that did it better. Sky Striker. Who the fuck knew an archetype that had an inherent +1 based on the number of spells in your graveyard could be bad? Well, number 2 on my list, I gotta give it up to the Nightmare package, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the kind of thing I was talking about for archetypes. When you're looking at archetype-based cards, you look at like what they have as an engine. When you give it an entire archetype, all separate abilities that include co-linking. This doesn't even go in the fucking main deck except for Ibli. Oh, yeah, Ibli. So when you Ibli your opponent, you give them that fantastic card that says, you can't link something unless you do something with this card. Okay, so it just makes people, you know, play more bad main deck cards. But when you have an archetype that gains effects based on co-link, they're all a toolbox within themselves. And they all are so easy to make. Like, what were you doing? And you know, Nightmare Goblin is the culprit behind a lot of the issues that we had this year. Like, co-linked monsters can't be targeted. Co-linked monsters can't be destroyed by battle. Co-linked monsters can't do anything to them. What do you mean? That's literally what the Nightmare package has done for the game. Like, I don't know what they were thinking inherently in terms of design, but the archetype for Nightmares and the overall power that it brought to the game, I mean, fucking reason why a Goblin is banned at this point, but oh god, such an eyesore. Like, if there was another archetype that I would never want to have to deal with again in the game, I think the Nightmare monsters were an inherent mistake in terms of like their design, in terms of the things that they did for the game. But that is a whole nother paradigm. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, Nightmares, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the best archetype of the year. Let's give it up for Danger, baby! Oh, God. When you make an exclusive archetype, you think of Noble Knights. We don't think of good archetypes like Burning Abyss or, you know, the other Golden Childs like Subterror, Spiral. No, we think of our homies in the Danger world. When you have an entire archetype that says, discard, apply X effect, draw a card. Oh, you discarded me for another effect? Oh, reward yourself. Self-replacing effects. So good. So good. Oh, man. Konami has proven to us that they didn't want to design generic draw cards. And then they make this archetype. You all thought you were getting a free pass on draw power. Well, that's cool, because we'll just put this inside of an FTK that wants to draw through its entire deck. And, you know, most people won't bat an eye at it. They'll be like, oh, it's too hard to learn. Yeah, that's Danger. I think Danger goes down as the best archetype of the year, just because the unhinged potential that this archetype has promoting FTKs is insane. And My criteria for this video, for looking at these archetypes, was what did it do for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, fucking the Danger engine has done more for everything else than every other engine. The Nightmare package was a goddamn close second for this, but when you introduce into a world of FTKs and an entire main decked engine, like, yeah, generic draw power, ladies and gentlemen. But I gotta give it up for Nightmares, ladies and gentlemen. The best archetype of the year 2018, because TCG exclusives, once again, have made Yu-Gi-Oh! A fantastic place for all of us. Well, that's all I got. Do you guys agree with my list? Do you guys not agree with my list? I'd like to hear your opinions down below in the comment section. Please, feel free to tell me if I'm just a arrogant asshole who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, or if you're like, oh, Robbie, you're probably right. So, well, we still got a few more of these to do. So, guys, I'll catch you on the flip side. This is my way of relaxing. Yeah. See, I just want to have a fun little recap for 2018. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Peace out.
The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.